Hey, what's going on YouTube and tech fans? Welcome back once again to Tech of Tomorrow. I'm Eric, your host, and today we're going to be taking a look at a killer little system we call the Vision, which is an AMD-based system. It's $1,000 basically. It's a little bit under $1,000, and this system kicks ass in 1080p, 1440, and will play VR, no problem whatsoever. Now, before we jump in though, I got to talk about a few things. Like I got this headset and everything. We were like, all right, cool, man. Like, you know, like $800, you know, for these things. And we get it and it comes in and like, we're okay, cool. We'll download all these VR games and start playing VR. And it's like, as soon as you get it, it's like, no, you got to invest $200 more for the piece that can do all your motion sensing. So even if you go out and you buy this thing, you want to think about this, make sure you get the other part. Otherwise, you end up with this, you know, great Oculus Rift headset, which is pretty cool because the speakers and everything are all built in and it looks great. But if you want to play first-person shooter games, you're going to have to buy that additional part. So with that said, though, this system really kicks ass. It looks nice. All the parts inside of it are very nice. The build is totally clean. It's running behind me right now, so you guys can hear the system runs very, very silent. All the fans actually come inside the case. You don't need to worry about spending any extra money investing on that. And this time we bring the entire system to you, including the OS. So for those people that are looking to buy a total tower from scratch, obviously you're going to buy the OS. If you're somebody out there, you already have the OS, you're not going to give a crap. But I just got to say this, everything that has to do with Vulkan and all the things that the AMD fans are, you know, totally embracing has to do with Windows 10 and the DirectX 12 features and all those things working together. So if you want the absolute best out of your system, you're going to need to get Windows 10. And unfortunately, that's a very hard one to pirate these days. Might as well just buy it and be done with it though. So with that said though, let's jump in real quick though. Let's check out those parts and let's check out the system. Let's see the gaming and then let's talk a little bit about the VR experience. Let's rock. For this build, we use the Corsair Carbide for the case. Now this thing looks pretty killer. It's got lots of room for expansion. It's a great price, and best of all, it matches the theme of the colors for this great AMD build. For the motherboard, we have the Gigabyte 970 Gaming SLI board. This thing will do crossfire, and it's a very, very nice product. Powering this system is the Corsair CX550M. The CPU is the FX6350 from AMD, featuring their new Wraith cooler. And for the video card, we used an RX 480 by the people over at Diamond Multimedia. It's basically a reference design card, but works well in this system. For our storage, we have the Backup Plus from Seagate. This is a 2TB USB 3.0 drive that works perfect for storing all your games on. We have a 240GB Force LE SSD from Corsair, and last but not least, we have 8GB of Vengeance memory DDR3 once again from Corsair. You guys can see that everything fits very nicely inside the Corsair Carbide. You can't see any cables. The cable management was done very, very well on this, so all of your airflow flows right across all those parts, keeping your entire system nice and cool. And for those people who hate clutter, hey, no matter how OCD you are, you'll love this. We forego the option of installing a CD player because almost everything that you install nowadays, once you install Windows 10, you'll be up and getting all the rest of your drivers off the internet. But for those people who actually absolutely have to have a CD player, you can always just get an external one, install your drivers, then throw it back in the dusty drawer where you got it from. Another great thing about the Vision build is that you have the opportunity for plenty of expansion. You can throw in more video cards for crossfire, you've got plenty of room for more drives, so whether it be more video cards, more drives, and just more, there's plenty of room inside the Carbide for you to expand. Real quick before we jump into the performance analysis, I want to talk a little bit about the VR experience. Now, like I said, it takes an additional $200 part which we ordered. We're just waiting for it to get here. But we were able to play things like Ninja VR and stuff like that, where you guys can actually see my daughter and her friends playing around with this. You have to jump around and do a bunch of stuff. It actually wears your ass out with a bunch of exercise. So not only do you get to play the VR game, which looks really cool, I honestly wish I could bring the VR experience right across to you. Unfortunately, all you can get is my verbiage, but let me tell you, this stuff is really cool. The first time you experience VR, and this is my daughter's first time ever experience it, and her friend, you guys can see that people really love it. You can see the expressions on their face, you can see the excitement in their movements, and this is great. Now, There were a few things though that we weren't able to do. There were some games that when we tried to download them, they said, hey, this system does not meet the minimum requirements to do that. So there are some VR things out there that take an even more powerful system than this. And I think that a lot of you folks out there who understand, what's going on in new technology realize this. Even at $1,000 and stuff, that's still kind of a semi-budget system. There are systems out there I've seen for $4,500, $5,000, all completely tricked out. Obviously, you can build low-end systems, but super duper low-end systems obviously aren't going to be, geared for a VR experience. Now, once I get this other little component, we'll come back to you guys and we'll talk a little bit more about the system. But just initially, our VR experience was really fun, and the system can obviously handle almost all the VR stuff that's out there. Like I said, there may be a few things out there that require, a little bit more of a buffed-out system, but hey, our experience so far, thumbs up. Now let's check out some performance scores. Everybody, so there you have it, the Vision, an under $1,000 VR system that totally kicks ass in gaming. If you're doing 1080p, you're doing 1440, you guys can see it kicks ass. And best of all, if you have a FreeSync monitor, you can lock that shit up at 144 hertz and all your stuff looks beautiful. And that's why the monitor I have back behind her, by the way, I will have a link to all the parts in this video, including the monitor that I have behind me, the Oculus Rift, including that extra $200 part that you need to get up and going to play all those third-person shooter games and all that other fun stuff. That'll all be down below that like button. So I'm Elric. You guys have been watching Tech and Tomorrow. Like I said, VR is the future, and for $1,000, being able to play all of your games, plenty of expansion in this system. You guys saw, hey, VR can be fun. It's a little bit of investment right now, still a little bit pricey, since the Oculus is like $800 and you gotta buy another $200 part too, so it's like, sell an arm, sell a leg. Okay, I'll just be honest, that's why I don't have any feet. I sold them for an Oculus Rift. No, I'm just fucking with y'all, but it's pretty funny though, right? They see an arm and a leg, nope, I had to sell my 2 front feet. Not my 2 front teeth, but my 2 front feet to get myself some Oculus. So anyways, check it out, guys. Had a lot of fun doing this video. The build is awesome. We're going to be building some cool gaming areas and doing a bunch of more fun shit on the channel, so follow along. We'll see you guys back here for more tech, more VR, and just more fun stuff here on Tech and Tomorrow.